This is honestly one of the best things that's come to this unit, to this application. I can see myself using this at the range, and honestly, this begs a question. Is the Awesome Golf app still relevant? I mean, Awesome Golf are going to need to step up and bring out some new things because, I mean, they're getting caught, and they're getting caught very quickly by the Rapsodo application. G'day guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today, super exciting video. I'm checking out the new update, the new beta update that's come to the Rapsodo MLM2PRO. I am currently on the 3.8.20 firmware version for the Rapsodo, and I'm also on the new beta software of their application as well. What does this bring? Well, this brings the target range. And this is probably, I'm going to say this is the best thing that's happened to the Rapsodo application since launch. Think of this range like the Awesome Golf target range, except Rapsodo's own version. This thing is incredible. It is seriously cool. However, there are a few things that I would like to see change or some additions before this gets released out to the public, but we're going to jump into it today. I'm super excited. Okay, so without further ado, let's jump into the target range. Now, if my voice does sound a bit off, it is because I am recovering from a cold, so apologies for that. What you can see straight off the bat is you get an overview of what the range looks like, and this thing has been thought out. It's been well designed. It addresses everything. What's cool about this is you get your tee box, left, center, and then also right, and then you get distances associated with each one of those in the targets. And so as I select left, center, and right, you can see those distances all changing. You also get fairways. So say if I wanted to hit from the left side of the tee box, and then I want to hit to the right side fairway, that's going to basically give you a fairway. So you can practice driver, you can practice 3-wood, you can practice hybrid, whatever you want to do. You can select a different fairway. We've got short left fairway, right fairway, and then short right. You can select one of those and you can work on your driver, you can work on your 3-wood. So it's really cool to see that they've incorporated essentially a practice hole within this target range. What's cool about this is it's going to give you stats for each one of those. So if you hit the fairway, it's going to record that as a hit fairway. I'll show it all later. What we're going to do though is we're going to go to the center tee box, and I'm just going to select one of these shorter shots. So we'll select a 62-yard shot. Okay, so we've jumped in, we're in the center of the fairway, and I've aimed at the 62-yard hole. On the right-hand side, you have this little mini map. You can hit the minus sign, and then it'll show you an overview of the actual range, or you can zoom in to what you're actually doing. If you swipe to the left on that, you're gonna get all your stats for this shot. So what I'll do is I'll hit a couple of shots. I have got this thing perfectly aligned. I am using my stand from Claire. So if you want to check out those stands, I'll link it in the description, but Claire's Prints is the website you want to go to. For the purpose of this test, I usually use my Rapsodo ball dots, and I'll show you those now. I've currently got them on a TaylorMade golf ball. So that's what I usually use, the Rapsodo ball dots. However, for this video, because I don't want there to be any discrepancies, because I don't want there to be any question or doubt in people's minds, because I have found a few things that I just want to check, I am just going to use my Callaway RPT ball. So for this test, I'll use RPT balls, but I generally use the Rapsodo ball dots, and I have them on Pro V1s. So that's the ball I play on course, so that's what I like to use in my sim. But for the purpose of today's test, I'm going to use my RPT balls because I think there might be a slight discrepancy, and it might be due to elevation. I'll talk about all that in a second. I have also got my iMini on, so I'm going to be comparing the carry distances while I go. All right, 60-yard shot, RPT ball. Might be a bit long. So straight off the bat, I've had 67 yards carry on my iMini, and we've had 69 yards carry on the Rapsodo. So pretty close, a couple of yards difference in it. All of the other data looks very similar. Spin rates slightly lower on the iMini. It had 8,600 versus 9,200. We had a draw on the iMini. We've had a draw on the MLM2PRO. Okay, much better shot there. We've had 57.9 yards carry on the iMini. That almost went in. So 58 yards carry versus 61 yards carry on the MLM2PRO. Spin rates, again, a little bit lower on the iMini. We've had 8,300 versus 8,900. We've had a pretty much dead straight on the iMini. We've had a baby draw on the MLM2 Pro. But what I want to highlight is the carry distance. So a couple of shots there. We've only had a couple of yards difference, but to me, just looking at this, it looks like I'm hitting downhill. So I have to confirm with Justin, but what I'd love to see is if this is downhill a couple of yards, I don't mind it being downhill, but if it is, I'd love an annotation on the flagstick just saying -3 yards or -2 yards, whatever it is, because to me, if I'm going to practice these shots, I want to be dialing in the correct distance, but I'll have to check. It does look downhill to me though, visually, just looking at that. That should be good. A little bit left maybe. Okay, so for distance there, I had 51 yards on the iMini. We've had 56 yards on the MLM2 Pro. Again, we're noticing carry distance on the MLM2 Pro a little bit further, but this looks downhill. So I have to confirm that. All right, let's hit one more. Should be good. Oh, what a shot. Okay, so we had 53.5 yards on the iMini, 57 yards on the MLM2 Pro. Ball speeds, 55.5 versus 55. Club speeds, 56 versus 55. Launch angles, pretty much identical, 29 versus 30. Everything there looks pretty much identical. Even shot shape, we had a baby fade on the iMini. We've had a baby fade on the MLM2 Pro, so everything's matching up nicely. The only discrepancy we're seeing is carry distance, and I think that might be because we're hitting a little bit downhill. Let's go to a longer flag now. So we'll hit from the middle. We'll hit from the middle position still. Let's just go to one of these small greens. So let's go to this 77-yard shot. And what I will say straight off the bat, I have hit to these flags. These are amazing. So these are amazing for wedge work. However, they are seriously small. If you go to this short one that's about 44 yards, the second one, or even the first one, it's hard to actually keep the ball on the green. So I'd love to see these greens just a little bit bigger because they've got plenty of room. They could make these easily, you know, twice as big and they'd fit them all there. All right, let's hit to this 77-yard one. So for me, this works out nicely. It should just be my 79-yard feel. Should be good. Lovely shot. So perfect shot. We've had 73 yards carry on the iMini, 77 yards carry on the MLM2 Pro. Carry distance been slightly longer on the MLM2 Pro. Again, I don't know whether that's because we're hitting downhill. This actually looks quite level. So to me, this looks level, whereas the green to the left, well, all the greens really look downhill. Again, I don't mind it being downhill. I think it looks better if it is a little bit downhill because you can see everything and it looks really nice. However, if they are downhill, let us know how far downhill they are. All right, let's hit one more shot to this flag. Oh, it's going to be short right, I think. Not a good swing. We've missed it. We're in the bunker. So 72 yards carry versus 69. We've had ball speed 63 versus 64. Again, all that data looks really good. Spin rate's 10,000 on the iMini. I left it open. It was a bad shot versus 9700. All that data looks good. What I'll do is I'll swipe right, because I want to show you this. Swipe left, sorry, on the mini map. You're going to get all of your average, you know, average carry, average proximity, and your best shot there. I do love seeing that. I'll talk about it later, but I'd love to be able to adjust those data points. So when I'm hitting driver, I would love to see average ball speed, you know, average swing speed. I'd love to be able to select those. I'll talk about that a bit later. All right, let's hit to a further flag now. There's some really tough shots. Let's go to this one. We'll hit an 8-iron. So this is a tiny little island green. And again, it does look a little bit downhill, so we'll have a look at the carry distances. Oh, that's left. See, I didn't think that was that big of a hook. But anyway, so 162 yards carry on the iMini, 166 on the MLM2 Pro. All of that data looks good. Spin rates are identical. well, within 10. So yeah, very similar. The only big thing I'd say is the shot shape. It was a much more of a draw on the MLM2 Pro. Okay, I've faded it now. Miss one left, I'll miss it right now. Just gonna hang on to the fringe there. We've had 154 yards carry on the iMini versus 160 yards carry on the MLM2 Pro. Let's see if we can hit this green. This is a tough shot. That was flush. Be good. Okay, what's interesting there? That was a really nice shot. We've had 160 yards carry on the iMini, 165, so again, 5 yards difference. What's interesting is the iMini had that as a draw versus the MLM2 Pro, which had it as a fade. Now, I will say, I'm using these units side by side at the same time. There's potential for interference. This is honestly one of the best things that's come to this unit, to this application. I can see myself using this at the range, and honestly, this begs a question. Is the Awesome Golf app still relevant? I mean, Awesome Golf are going to need to step up and bring out some new things because, I mean, they're getting caught, and they're getting caught very quickly by the Rapsodo application. Right, let's go to a longer shot. Let's go 205. What's that 207? Oh, that's a tough shot. Let's go to that one, 207. That is a tough shot. Let's hit a 5-iron, and yeah, I feel like I should have warmed up for this. That was almost a shank. Was definitely out the heel. Go! I tell you what, that just snuck over the water. 196 yards carry versus 200. Oh, I've towed it now. That is wet unless it gets really far left, which it has. And look, that's going to be a green and reg, but not a good shot. Let's see shot shape. Yeah, they both had a significant draw, which is good. Oh, it was solid, but it's left. Okay, that definitely wasn't fading. Was definitely a draw. So that's interesting. We've had, that's a big discrepancy. Did that ball crack? Because that is quite a big discrepancy. I don't think it did. Let's go through the data. So 206 yards carry, it was a solid shot. It felt solid, it felt off the toe, it felt like a draw. That's exactly what the iMini said. 206, 700 left spin, 137 ball speed. That's what it felt like. Looking at the data there from the MLM2 Pro, we've actually had a fade. We've had 195 yards carry, which is a massive difference. So that's interesting. That was a misread from the Rapsodo there. Okay, it was hit heavy, but it was straight. That's got to go. Just. All right. 196 yards carry on the iMini versus 202. All that data looks pretty good apart from the carry distance. What I will say though, this target range is legit. The graphics are amazing as well. Okay, let's select a different flag now. Let's go 266 and we'll tee off from the right hand side of this range. So that makes it 255. Let's hit a 5-wood. Hold. A little bit of a fade. So we had 237 yards carry versus 238. So that's pretty much perfect. Come on, let's see if we can hit this green. That was flush. Oh, have I pulled it? Come on. Just. All right, roll down now. Come on. Lovely shot. All of that data is well within tolerance. I mean, they're almost identical. Pretty much the exact same shots. Really happy with that data. And again, we can go swipe left, and then we've got all of our data there. What I'd love though is, especially with my woods and driver, I'd love to be able to amend or change these metrics. So I want to see, you know, potentially average proximity. I want to see average ball speed. I want to see average club speed, or maybe you want to see where you're missing it on average. I'd love to see, to be able to amend these. If you want to work on your spin axis, what's your average spin axis? If you want to work on your, launch angle, you want to work on any metric, I'd love to be able to just change it to whatever I want to see. Okay, let's finally go. We'll go left side of the tee box, and we'll go right side of this target selection. Now, something I haven't talked about, and it kind of pops up now, or maybe even with the irons. Potentially you're someone who stands there and you hit a big draw, or your miss is left, and you want to adjust your alignment or your aim in this application or this target range. Unlike the rest of the application, you cannot just drag your finger around and aim where you want to aim. I'd love to be able to, on this fairway shot, or even on that tough shot to that little green, if I hit a draw, I'd love to be able to just adjust my aim to the right side of the green, because I know I'm going to hit a draw. So that's what I'd do on course. I'd go, oh, I'm going to aim for my miss, which is going to be left, so I'm going to aim a little bit right. You can't adjust your aim in this actual section of the application. I'd love to be able to do that. So this fairway shot, for instance, I'd love to be able to aim on the right side of the fairway and hit my draw back to the middle of the fairway. You cannot adjust your aim. You're basically aiming exactly straight at the flag or straight down the middle. Okay, let's hit some drives. This is going to be interesting. First driver swings of the day, and this could go absolutely anywhere. Might be okay. No, it's left. Okay, not a great swing. We've missed the fairway, which is a pretty wide fairway. We did have a draw on the iMini. We've had a draw on the MLM2 Pro. A bit more of a draw on the MLM2 Pro. It wasn't that big on the iMini. Ball speeds were identical. Club speeds, we actually had a little bit quicker on the iMini. Club speed of 110 on the iMini. Okay, that's interesting. Let's see that shot shape. It was a draw on the iMini. And yeah, okay, so no, that looks accurate. It was quite a big draw on the iMini and quite a big draw on the MLM2 Pro. Again, we're warming up. Ball speeds 162.4 versus 162. Club speeds 110 on the iMini versus 109. All of that looks accurate. I've missed two fairways, and that's a wide fairway. Let me get my act together. Carry distance. Let's talk about carry distance. So 280 on the iMini versus 282 on the MLM2 Pro. Okay, that should be a Healy cut. Not a good shot, but it's in the fairway. So 272 yards carry versus 272 yards carry. That's identical. We've had 160 ball speed versus 159. Club speeds 110 versus 109. Launch angles 11.3 versus 11.7. A little baby fade on the iMini. It did feel like a heel cut versus a baby draw on the MLM2 Pro. Why do I turn everything into a comparison? I'm comparing launch monitors again. Okay, let's swipe to the left. There you can see one of three fairways. Best shot was 279 yards. Average total distance, average carry. Again, I would love more metrics. I'd love it. Even if they just had averages and then they just had, ball speed. And they could fit 6 data points in that space there very easily. Okay. That is the new target range, and wow, it's amazing. It's fantastic. It's really cool to see Rapsodo continue to improve this application, to improve this product. Now, looking at that subscription fee, that annual subscription fee, it's starting to look like it's worth it, because now it's looking like we're not going to have to get additional applications. We're just going to have the Rapsodo app that can do it all. It's got speed training, it's got the target range, it's got the courses which have elevation. Most of them do. It's really getting there. It's coming a long way. Things I'd love to see though added to this target range. Elevation, I want to know if I'm hitting downhill. And I want to know if that's accurate. If I'm going to work on wedges, I'm going to work on these numbers and really dial it in. I want to actually know the distance that I am hitting them. Even if they had an in-game carry versus a raw carry, if they just had raw carry as a metric in the top left-hand corner, that would be fantastic. Or let us know so we can calculate it ourselves. Another thing I'd love to see is these small target greens. I'd love to see those a little bit bigger, especially when you hit those short shots. you want to be able to land it short and run it up, because on such a short shot, you're not going to generate a lot of spin. So we need a bigger green to be able to accommodate those shots. In-game aiming. So again, I talked about this. If I'm going to hit iron shots, if I'm going to hit, you know, those mid irons to those island greens, I really want to be able to aim, adjust my aim in game. So I love the idea of snapping to a flag. So if I select one of these yardages, I go 150 yards, continue, it snaps onto that flag, but then just let us do micro adjustments from there. And then finally, the right-hand side in the mini map where you have your averages, let us adjust what metrics we want to see in there. So if they just let us select, just like we can go in and we can select the metrics that we want to see at the bottom where we go change metrics, just have a change metrics for that mini map section for your averages. Other than that, this is absolutely fantastic. I love the graphics. The graphics look really good. Let me know how you guys went. Let me know what you guys think of this section. If you did enjoy that, please like the video, sub to the channel, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Cheers.